Hey everyone, I'm Leaf and welcome to my YouTube channel. And I do not have enough OCs. Some people may disagree with that, but I always think there's room for more. But I've been getting kind of design blocked lately, so I thought, why not try some Pause OC art challenges? If you don't know what that is, basically someone designs a bunch of options for a character and then makes them scroll by really fast and you have to pause to get your options. I will have all of the reels I'm using linked down below and their name credited on the screen, so go check them out if you want to join too. And tag me if you do because I would love to see your characters. So without further ado, let's get into the drawing. Okay, we're gonna start with this one, but before I do, let's make a base. I'm just gonna start with a really simple base because I don't know what options I'm gonna get yet. Obviously, just needs to serve as somewhere to put our stuff. Wow, that's a bit jank, but that's okay. Okay, let's get our options. Yellow skin, okay. Purple eyes. Stars in the eyes. That's cute. A little updo. Pink hair. Little cute little wings. And this sort of heart staff. That's adorable. And this cute little belt. Okay. Whoa, that's a cool halo. Alright. Well, now that we have our options, yellow skin, purple eyes, a bun, pink, like a very blushy pink. That's not it. Like that. Yeah, magical girl looking wings. Like Kiro, I think, from Cardcaptor. He has these kind of wings. Blue staff with the heart. And then the chunky belt. Oh, so silly looking. This is who we're drawing. Oh, I forgot. Almost forgot. She has a halo. She's a Cupid. She needs her halo. Okay. Now that's everything. Let's get a sketch going, shall we? Whoa. Whoa. I'm trying to think what pose. To be honest, I'm not the greatest when it comes to posing characters, which sucks because I draw them all the time. So you think I'd be better at it, but I'm not. That leg going that way, and this leg going this way. I don't know. Hold on. Let's try again. Maybe something like that's cute, and then we can have her adorable little wings. Cute. I like her arm going down. Can you see the vision? With her creepy spider hands. Oh no. That's not correct. Let's worry about that later. Let's get some of these other elements that we actually need in here. I'm gonna try not to look at the reference one too much because I kind of want to make it my own. I'm not planning to make this one exactly like the other one. Just get the same ideas across. I want to give the staff wings. Heck yeah. She's gonna be like a little magical girl. Now I don't know if I want her to be like holding it or if I want it to be like floating, you know? Whoa, where's it going? I'm gonna put it there for now. And we'll see about this arm placement. Because that just doesn't feel right. I like this arm being straight down, but it looks stupid. We'll put it here and we'll have her hold it. Like this. I want to keep the silhouette of her body very like clear because I think it looks good, you know? Okay, let's give her her actual features. Hey, it's VoiceOver Leaf here, coming to take over. I'm still getting used to the whole sketching and talking thing. Let me know if you like that or this voiceover better. But like I said, we're gonna start adding her features now. From the options I got on the Pause challenge, I knew I wanted her to be very girly and very cute since she is supposed to be a Cupid, but also all the options I got were like very girly, so I wanted to contrast it a little bit with making her like look a little bit angry. Yes, she is a Cupid, but maybe she doesn't like her job. I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny to make her look a little bit angrier. For her design as a whole, I wanted her to give very magical girl vibes. With her staff and her belt and her wings, she just reminded me of a magical girl and like the tropes they use to design their characters. Which, this is great because I don't have a magical girl OC, which I think is super surprising. So I finally have one to add to my roster. And with that magical girl theming, I decided to go for a very detailed skirt because I feel like most magical girls have this pleated skirt type look. I mean, it's just classic. And I also gave her some tights with these little bows. Just wanted to make her overall very, very cute. Surprisingly, the most challenging part of this design was trying to figure out how I wanted to style her top. I edited out a lot of the iterations I went through, but I finally landed on this style with this charm in the middle of her chest, and I gave her this bolero with this plain looking shirt underneath. I just couldn't for the life of me decide how I wanted to draw her top. I think the option I settled on is pretty good, honestly. It matches her skirt really well. For her staff, I wanted it to be super cutesy, and since I started adding bows all over her design, I figured I should probably add a giant big bow in the middle of her staff, just to help the designs match each other a little bit better. And I know the halo in the option I got was black in Gothic, but I decided to take its design more as a suggestion and change the spikes into hearts, and eventually you'll see the halo is going to be gold and not black. And no magical girl design is complete without a giant bow in the back, so I made sure to add that as well. Since I was trying to be maximalist with this drawing, I added a couple extra details before finishing my sketch, like these little charms hanging off of her wings, the stars in her eyes, which I had forgot to add earlier, and a heart on her cheek. Then I added the base colors and it was time to render. The rendering on this one didn't take very long since I just decided that these were going to be kind of sketch drawings, concept illustrations, so I wasn't too worried about cleaning it up too much. But for my color palette, I decided to go for these very pastel colors since it matched all of the things that I got. Like the belt was pastel pink with these blue charms and yellow charms, and since I got yellow skin and lilac eyes, I just decided to go for an overall pastel color scheme. I really like how these colors ended up. I don't use pastel colors too often in my own characters. Like, I might use a couple, but I never have the entire character be pastel, so I was really happy with the opportunity to use those instead. For the shadows on this drawing, I decided to make them all that pastel blue. I just thought it brought a nice harmony to the drawing since many of the elements in my drawing weren't blue, so adding the blue to the shadows helped to bring it in more. I was having so much fun rendering this drawing. Just the whole pause challenge thing is so fun to me, so if you guys ever want me to make more of these characters, I would be happy to. I was in my element, if you couldn't tell. I just love how maximalist she turned out, and I just had so much fun. So here is the final drawing. I mean, you can see her yourself. Like, I love how it turned out. She is so cute. And I do not have a name for her right now, so if you have a good name, I would love to hear it. I want it to be kind of angelic, obviously, so if you have a good name, please let me know down below. So let's move on to our next drawing. Okay, so for our next one, we're going to do this one. So let's see. Okay, we got like a spacey body. That looks super cool. And for the hair, we're gonna do some dreads. That's cute. We got the split dye hair. Adorable. Really tired eyes. Ooh, that's a cool eye option. So like black scleras and some purple irises. And whatever you consider this type of fashion, that's cool. And for accessories, a bunch of snakes. All right, let's see what we can do with that. Okay, time for a little guy sketch. Mandatory little dude. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, how do I fix that? Y'all broke my Clip Studio Paint. It's all your fault. No. Okay. Whoa. Both got sass. For a body, we got like this kind of spacey look. That's really cool. I've never really thought of giving my characters like space. And then we got like dreads. I love that hairstyle. Our dreads are split dyed. And for the eyes, we have black scleras and purple eyeballs. What do you even call this? I don't know. She needs like a leotard thing with like a dress shirt. Ooh, boy. This is peak fashion, guys. I don't know like what y'all are talking about. Oh, can't you see the vision? I'm seeing it right now and it looks beautiful. And then our last thing was like snakes. It's a snake, guys. Oh. Can't you tell I'm an artist, bro? These snakes are like, whoa, bro. Only true talent. Okay, well, there it is. That's what we're going for. Time for sketching. So, I think I'm gonna time lapse that. So, you get voiceover. Unless something funny happens, then I'll come back in. But, let's start sketching. Yeah, I got a little bit tired last night, so I decided to time-lapse the sketching process instead of talking like I did in the first drawing. So now I'm just going to be talking through the whole drawing process, which is what I do anyways, so it's not that big of a problem. Oh, we got some sirens. Do y'all hear that? Whoa. Whoa! They're coming for me, guys. Since I have to make snakes and dreads, why not just make the dreads the snakes? I'm starting to doubt my ability to draw snakes. Well, now I'll be taking over with the voiceover. So, like I said, since I had to do dreads for the hair and I had to add snakes, I decided just to make, the snakes to your hair. Like Medusa. I really like when people make hair snakes. I think it looks really cool. So I was not mad. I was just a little bit confused. But I think we got there eventually. All my snakes are a little bit silly looking. That's because I didn't look at any references. Guys, please look at references if you're drawing something that you don't normally draw. I was just being a little bit silly and I didn't look at references, but I definitely should have. For her face, originally I wanted it to also look like a snake, so that's why I made her mouth like weirdly wide, but I end up going back on that decision because I just couldn't make it look right and I still wanted her to be cute, So here I started working on changing that mouth a little bit to get it somewhere where I was happy with it. I was messing around with a lot of more unique mouth shapes to still try and make it look more like a snake, but I just went with my standard mouth because at this point I was drawing a lot of things I didn't normally draw and I just wanted some comfort, so I gave her my normal mouth. Anyway, enough about the mouth. Let's talk about her clothes. So for her clothes, I basically did the exact same thing as the prompt because I mean, it was already a really unique type of outfit, so I didn't know if there was much I could do to make it better. So I basically just did the same thing, although I added some fringe to the bottom of her leotard, and I gave her some of these tall socks as well, because I think they're cute. And I wanted my two girls to match a little bit, since I'm making them in the same video. I thought it'd be cute if they had similar design features. So I wanted them to look like a pair. You know, they looked so cute together. So I also added this little bow on the top, as well as later on I added a bunch of stars on her outfit to bring in that space theming to her outfit. I also added these cute little bows to the sides of her hips to match Cupid a little bit better, and also to add some more detail to her outfit, since I wanted the two to be similar detail levels. And here is my base colors. I decided to go for a dark purple and gold, since I got the option for that galaxy skin, so I wanted to make the color palette revolve around that. Now, I did get brown and beige split dyed hair, but I decided to change that to dark purple for the snakes and a lighter purple for the part of her hair without the snakes, because I'm gonna be real honest, I do not think I could make that brown work with her colors, so I changed it to purple. I hope you guys don't think I'm cheating, I hope it's okay, but that's what I went with. And while I was changing the colors of everything, I decided to make her outfit also purple. I know the original was red, but I see those colors way more as a suggestion than what I'm supposed to do. I mean, if I had to stick with the colors for everything, then she probably wouldn't look that cohesive. I did keep the colors of the eyes though, with the black scleras and the purple pupils, although I made mine a little bit more blue, but hey, you know, it's my character, right? It's just supposed to give you some nice suggestions. I was having the greatest time rendering this character because it included a lot of textures I normally don't put in my art, like the scaly snakes and her satin gloves and socks and her cloud skin. I don't normally include textures like that, so it was a nice challenge trying to really bring those out. I really should start trying to add different textures to the clothing of my characters, but it's not really something that crosses my mind, so it was nice adding them here. Oh, also on a side note, for the galaxy body, it came with stars that were swirling around the character, so I added some to her thighs, as well as her arm and around her head. So that's why they're there. At this point, I also realized that I hadn't added the hand yet, so I made sure to add the hand in because I'm not trying to make my drawing look like AI here. We need all the hands with all the fingers. So I added the hand, although you can't even see it in the final drawing that well, so if I didn't add it, I'm sure I would have been fine. At this point, I also decided to add this really bright purple to her face. I mean, I just think it looks good. Like, I love this purple. I really should be using it more often because just look at the way it makes her eyes pop. It's so cute. It adds a nice point of focus to her face that I think was lacking before. So that's nice. At this point, I also decided that I really hated the way the star looked around her forehead, so I got rid of it and I added this halo above her head instead, which ties her in nicely with Cupid again, but also I think it's less intrusive because with all the snakes around her head, it's already a bit busy, so having the star there was even worse. And then I added some finishing touches, and here is the finished drawing. I know I say this about everything, but I love it. She is so cool. She is so unique compared to all of my other characters. So I'm really happy with the way she came out. And honestly, I'm probably going to be keeping her and Cupid in the future. So please give them names so I can stop calling them Cupid, and I don't even have a name for the other one. So please leave name suggestions down below. And with that, everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, I would appreciate if you left it a like, and if you subscribed. Really helps out, especially since I'm such a small channel. You know, just helps encourage me to know that y'all like watching my videos. And you know what? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tell you what emoji to leave in your comments. I cannot believe I forgot to do that. So, this is a really random placement, so you really have to be paying attention to get this one. So, if you're watching, please leave a star emoji in your comment. That way I know that you were paying attention. And with that, everyone, thank you so much, and I will see you not next week because I will be busy. Maybe not the next week, I'm not sure, but I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Probably in 2 weeks, but I don't know. Anyway, bye bye!